Hello, my name is Alethea Tucker, and I am the CEO of Jolie's Enterprises. I'm also the host of a show entitled Reinvent and Rise, and the host of a podcast entitled Leveling Up the Podcast with Alethea Tucker. I recently had the distinct pleasure of working with Tina Ramsey and CTR Media Network in one of her programs where she taught me how to get exposure for my podcast. She increased my visibility tremendously, and she showed me how to monetize both of my shows to make them revenue generating products. I am so ecstatic and so happy with the service that she and her staff provided to me. She went above and beyond what I expected, and I certainly got far more than I ever dreamed I would get with her. So I highly recommend her for any of her programs. I highly recommend her as someone to go to if you are looking to increase what you do with your podcast, make it better. If you're looking to get visibility, definitely speak with her. You will not go wrong with her or anyone on her staff.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. How are you doing on today? Well, we are really going to have a very interesting conversation on today. But before I get started, it don't look as if my audio is working. So if you can hear me, comment in the chat. I can hear you. But I'm also going to be checking as well. So give me a moment. You might hear some feedback for a moment. Give me a minute. As well. So give me a moment. You might hear some feedback for a moment. Well, yes, we are live and cooking with grease. All right. So today we are going to have this conversation because the best way to attack an elephant is to do it head on, right? The elephant in the room. And so today we're going to talk about turning your failure into fuel. And the reason why is because this is a topic that many of us, we just don't want to talk about. We look at failure in a way that is not really healthy because we've been trained to think that failure is something wrong with it. So for those of you who are listening in on this morning, yes, baby, I am a whole lot early on this morning because your girl have a incredibly busy, action-packed day, and I did not want to miss my morning motivation with you because I have made this commitment to go live every single morning in order to get to you on the first part of the day so that we can change your mindset and kickstart your life so you can be your version of whatever amazing is and go out there and live that purposeful life. So happy day, CTR Media Network family, and welcome to Morning Motivation. This week or today, we're going to be rethinking the topic of failure instead of fearing it. We're going to learn how we can use it as a stepping stone to success because every failure is an opportunity simply for you to grow. For those of you who want to know the sound of this Southern twang, who is this? This is Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, and we're going to deep dive into this conversation of turning failure into fuel. So when you think about failure, let's first do the definition, okay? The definition of failure. Failure is not the opposite. Most people say failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of the journey. But by reframing failure as feedback, you can extract various different lessons that you can adjust your approach on that can make you come back even bigger and better and stronger than ever before. And so we are going to talk about this elephant in the room, failure, the fear of failure. That is something that cripples people to the extent that they become paralyzed in a in a sense of inactivity, no movement. So we have some people in the room. We have TC in the building saying, what are you a doctor of? Not medicine. I am a doctor of, I have my honorary doctorate in humanities for the work that I have been doing over the past 25 plus years within the community, and also pop culture. I'm in media. So of course I got to know more about what's going on in the media landscape. So that is what I have my honorary doctorates in. Okay. And so we have Muhammad in the building, says, what are you saying? Listen, look in the caption of the video. You can see that we're talking about failure. And so we do have so many people that deals with this, I would say, this monster of failure. And more than likely, it's rooted because you have so much negativity, or you're being surrounded by negativity. And so moderators, if you are up right now, we got to get rid of some of the negativity out of the room. Yeah, get rid of it. So let me go ahead and give you guys some tips on how you can reframe failure. Okay. You use failure as a way of building feedback. So what is it that you feel that you're failing at? I know for me, one of my biggest things that I did not want to do, but it keep calling me to do it, is media. I did not want to do media. Not where I'm speaking to people all the time, not where I'm in front of the camera all the time. I worked in media for over 10 years behind the scenes as an executive producer for many different shows, okay? Many different podcasts, many different TV shows. And I actually love being in the background. Being a social producer, being an executive producer, I love doing that where I'm there, but you don't know that I'm there, right? So that I can do what I do. And I don't need no accolades and all that stuff like that. I just love seeing people win. But in this season, I'm called to come forward to help as many people as possible to be able to achieve whatever level of success that they want. And so one thing is because we find it difficult to fail in front of others. And so what I had to do was reset my brain to understand that failure is just an opportunity for you to grow. I have learned more in my life with my experience from failing than any moment when I have won just starting something out and I automatically was able to get that award, or I automatically was able to get featured in certain things because of what I did in the community. Even though it was good, but I didn't learn a lot from that. What I learned from the most is when I failed at something, or when it did not look like I wanted to look, and I had to go through the process of solving a problem. Okay? Go through the process of solving the problem. And that what created the solution. Okay, so tip 2, everyone fails. So the thing is this, everyone fails. And you have to understand that the most successful people in the world that you look at, or maybe you look up to, or that you maybe aspire to become or be a part of that industry, whatever it is, they have failed more than they have won. And when you go back and listen to their biographies, their autobiographies, you will hear the real truth on what happened before they made history, before they made that breakthrough. And you will be shocked at how many times they had to fail before they got to that level of success. Another thing is, the only true failure on the face of the planet is when you give up. Is when you give up. That's the only true failure. When you put your hands up and say, I'm not going to do this, I can't do this anymore, and then you say, I give up. That is the only true failure. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a scenario, because we're talking to entrepreneurs or people who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs, or on the flip side of the coin, individuals who work a traditional 9 to 5, because you know my philosophy. If you are an entrepreneur and your business is not bringing the income that you desire, then you need to be working a job. And it ain't no shame in your game. It is not anything wrong with being an entrepreneur and plus working a regular job until your business reach the level of income that can replace your current job. I do not endorse nor support anyone telling a person to quit their job because they have this passion and this purpose that's burning inside of them to start a business. What's going to happen if it doesn't, kick off really, really quick? And more than likely, when you first start a business, you're going to have setbacks. Like I tell you guys my story multiple times. I failed twice, lost everything twice before I got it on the third time. Okay? And we did have some jobs. Okay? All right. And so you don't let anyone, I would say, guilt you into you're not a real entrepreneur if you work a traditional 9 to 5. Sometimes you have to crawl before you walk. So think about the scenario. You launch a product that doesn't sell as you expected, because many times you have this product because it helped you, you created it. Some of you are, I call you chemists, because you in the kitchen, you can make hair products, you can make wellness products, and you can see the results of who it helped. It helped you, it helped your family, and now you're selling it. But now that you're selling it, instead of giving it away to family members and friends and individuals who just need it for free, and now you're starting to sell it and you put it online, you maybe launch your website, you maybe put out some social media posts, and you make this incredible launch and you don't sell anything, or you sell very little. What I want you to understand is that instead of you quitting, you just need to use what you did and gather the information, get feedback from the individuals that saw your campaign, and you just need to improve your strategy. Sometimes you need to improve your product, meaning branding, how it looks, how it feels, how you're presenting it on social media. Do you have an email list? Are you presenting it going to various different events, pop-up shops? Have you talked to a local business that is independent, that will allow independent individuals to come in and put their products in their store? I remember when I had my health and wellness products, literally I worked out deals where my product was in the pharmacies. You can literally go in, and I went to local businesses and I pitched them why they need to have my product. I gave them demonstrations, and I had my products in the mall. I had my products in pharmacies. I had them all over. I didn't have a big marketing team. It was just myself, my husband at the time. But I knew my products could help. I know how it changed my life. I know how it helped my daughter. I know how it helped every person that has ever used my product. I have people to this day that still use my product, buy it every month or every other month, because I knew, okay? But when I first did my first social media post, when I did my first live, when I did my first campaign, it was a complete failure. More than one time. And I was like, what's going on? But I had to gather that information, see the way that I was positioning it, and just keep working it until I got it. And eventually I was able to get into those stores. I did not let those first couple of no's where I pitched to the different stores and they said no. I kept going to all the different stores and asking them about putting my product in their store, giving demonstrations, giving out free samples, doing educational workshops, explaining to their customers why and how to use the product. And then eventually people start calling me about, oh man, I heard about your product. I saw you at the women's health event speaking on stage. I saw you doing this. I saw you doing that. Can we get some of those products? Can you come out and teach our girls? Can you come out and teach our women? Can you come out and talk to this group and then bring your products? Can we buy, how can we buy a box of your products? How can we partner with you? How can we partner with you, right? And so that is literally what happened. And so it was that failure that helped me to be able to build that. And then I was able to build an entire team around the information that I had because failing actually helped me grow. Helped me grow tremendously once I got out of the mindset that failure is bad and realized that it's actually a good thing. And so what can you do? How can you accomplish this? You need to ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I learn from this? What steps do I need to take? I know I say journaling a lot, but I'm here to tell you that journaling really, really helps a lot. Why is journaling so powerful? It's because when you're in a moment and you're writing things down, it gives a certain ambiance to what's going on in the situation real time. And then as you keep going and you're writing down everything in the moment, then later you can go back and read all of it. And then you can add to how this is viable now. How can I move forward from now? It's not always easy to write down in the moment, but it's very valuable information that's going to help make you grow. How did you feel when this happened? What did you do? What are some things that you can do in order to improve? Is this a good partnership? How did the partnership work? What are the sales? How did your workshop go? Did you go out of town? How many sales did you do? How many repeat customers do you have? Do you need to change the colors of your packaging? Is it legible where people can actually read it? Is your presentation done in a way that people that have no knowledge about what it is that you do, what your product is, that it is so simple that even a child walking in the room could understand what you're talking about? The key is simplicity. In branding, simplicity. In message, simplicity. In your overall thing of whatever it is that you're doing. You do not need to overcomplicate stuff or be overly detailed where it turns a person or a group of people off because they feel like it's just too much to learn and they just can't learn it. You need to make it very simple. So what are some strategies for you to overcome the fear of failure? Hello, hello. So tip number 1, you need to focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. Your effort, your preparation, and what you're learning at the moment. You can control those 3 things. How much effort you're going to put into it, what type of presentation or preparation you're going to have, and what are you currently learning from this situation. Tip number 2, you need to break down big risks into smaller, manageable steps. I keep telling you this over and over. Why? Is because it worked. Most of the time, we fail because we're putting too much on ourselves at one time. So if we learn to work in smaller, measurable, manageable steps, you will notice that you'll be able to have your breakthrough more quicker because you're not over managing yourself. You're managing yourself realistically because things are going to come up. Tip number 3, you need to visualize your success. I want you to take yourself into the experience of how will it feel? What would it smell like? How would it feel? What would you look like? What are you going to be wearing? What type of response do you expect to get from other people about the product? How do you want to change people's lives, whether you have a product or a service, whatever it is? Visualize your success, even if you're just visualizing, helping and changing one person's life. Well, that one person can have a ripple effect to help 10 people. That 10 can have a ripple effect to help 100. And then that ripple effect can go to thousands and millions of people. But remember, it always starts with one person. I need you to calculate. This is the part that we don't want to do. With anything that you're doing, you need to calculate the risk, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's family, relationships. I need you to calculate the cost. It's going to be very uncomfortable if you are trying to build a business and you are working at the same time. Because if business take money in order to run, it takes sacrifice in order to build it up. It takes time to build up. So you can't be everything to everyone during the time of your build up of your company. So it's some things that you're going to miss out on. You might can't take the trips that you normally take. You might can't be at all of the soccer games if you're a mom or a dad. Um, you might can't be at your friend's house and do social things, as much social things as you used to do, because you're going to have to make sacrifices on building up your business and your brand. You're going to be tired because you're working a traditional 9 to 5 job and you're building a business. So if you work 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours at your place of employment, then you got to at least come home and work 4 to 5 hours on your business every day. So if you're giving them 8, you need to give yourself 4. And you're going to be tired, which means that you got to put priority on making sure that you do what you have to do, but also make sure that you get enough rest. You also need to celebrate the courage that it takes for you to move forward, even when you don't have a support system, even when you don't have anyone there that can understand. Then you need to be responsible and seek out supportive groups that people can understand or identify with what you're going through. Because there will be moments where you're not as positive. There are going to be moments where you feel doubtful. There are moments that you're going to feel fear. There are moments that you will fail, and you will fail more than one time. You need to start looking at failure as stepping stones to your success. That's just what it is. It's stepping stones to your success. Remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. All right. How can you turn setbacks into comebacks? Because that is exactly what we want to do. We want to turn our setbacks into comebacks. So you use your failure as motivation because you are proving to yourself and others that you can succeed even when it's difficult to do so. Tip number 2, surround yourself with people who inspire and encourage you to have resilience in the face of feeling like you're defeated. Tip number 3, you need to remember past challenges that you already have overcome and draw strength from them, because I guarantee it's something or multiple things that you have either overcome or a challenge that you have overcome, whether it's dealing with business, whether it's dealing with your job, whether it's dealing with your personal life. Everybody has had some things that you had to overcome. So, how can you write it plain and make it happen? I need you to create an action plan. If you notice, a lot of things that I'm telling you to do involves you writing. It's something that is scientifically known about you actually doing the physical activity of writing something down, not typing it in your phone, not texting it to yourself, not voice clipping it to yourself. It's something about, even though you can do all that, but you also need to do this most important step. You need to start back writing things down. It's something about writing it down, making it plain, that it causes it to become. It's just something about it. I have tried multiple methods through the years, and I use all the ones that I mentioned. But every time I write things down, it just shifts everything for me, and it actually works. Because now you have a physical representation of your idea out of your brain on paper that you can read, that you can touch. You can even smell the paper if you like to use certain scents that actually motivate you. And it gives you the emotion. It ties in all the senses when you write something down. And it is a great likelihood, if you keep working through it, that you will have that breakthrough and you will overcome it. You will be able to turn that failure into multiple stepping stones, creating multiple solutions. And now you have just become the person that is a problem solver. And every great business is on the backbone of solving a problem that needed to be solved for a certain group of people. Think about every business that's out there today, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Sam's, Costco's, let's see, Target, whatever. People wanted convenience. Think about buying food in bulk versus buying things regular. It saves you money, right? So what is it that is a complaint of the average person that do not have a business, that is just happy with just working and being home? And there ain't anything wrong with that now. But they have problems. They have issues that they want to solve. How can you make the working class life easier? Or how can you make the entrepreneurship lifestyle easier? With what you do that you're purposeful and passionate about, that you would do even if you did not get paid any money, but being that you're solving the problem first, profit will always come last. It will always come. So the thing is, I do not want you to fear failure. I want you to stop fearing failure, and I want you to use it as a way to build yourself up. I want you, when you see failure, I want you to start to recognize that that is just an opportunity for you to grow. I want you to embrace it as a part of the natural process, because that's all what it is. It's a natural process. I want you to take these practical steps or these tips and turn each failure into your fuel for your own individual success. And when you feel like giving up, I want you to stay motivated with CTR Media Network. We have some amazing shows. We have some amazing individuals, independent content creators that really touch every aspect of life and business. So I encourage you to download the CTR Media Network app on today. And I encourage you to go out and have the courage to live your best life, to step out and don't allow fear to stop or cripple you, and know that you can do anything. And I know we hear this a lot. You can literally do anything that you put your mind to. And not only that, because you can put your mind to it, but you don't go through it. You have to go through the process. On that note, make sure to have positivity in your life. If you notice that someone or somebody or anybody, whether you know them or you don't know them, remove negativity out your life. Do not allow people to change your mood, change your focus, change your desire, and stifle your growth. Remember that you have control over your life and the people whom you choose to be around. Really, everything that I'm telling you for these last 23 days has all been centered around digging deep inside of you and changing the way that you see you, changing the way that you see you, that you allow other people to see you, being able to get through and chisel through all of the self-limiting beliefs that you have on yourself. This really, more than motivation, is really just for you to help you work through whatever the pain, the trauma, or whatever it is. Because simply, you can have whatever it is that you want. You have to change your mindset. This is the time to let go all of those burdens that deals with past traumas, dealing with people, dealing with relationships, dealing with past failures, whatever it is that was the callous of you not living your full potential in your life. This is your opportunity to thrive in 2025. I want you to drop that baggage that you're carrying. I want you to drop all of those situations that you allowed yourself to be less than of because of the surroundings. I need you to be very intentional. As you can see, as when you're, the more positivity that you're putting out there, it's going to draw the light, and it's going to draw people that are negative. And you have to learn to remove those people. You saw it real time when we got some trolls today. Guess what I did? Said what I said, and I removed them. You have to have a no tolerance for negative people. People who are miserable on the inside. Let them be miserable on the side by themselves. I need you to know that you are worthy, that you are loved, that you are important. And you should never allow other people's perception of you to dictate how you feel about yourself. And remember that when people are negative, they're more than likely reflecting how they feel about themselves on the inside, and they're projecting it on you. It's not really towards you, it's towards themselves. And when I understood that, when I did some research on it, I said, wow. So every negative thing that they're spewing out their mouth to you, it's not you they're talking about. It's their own insecurities about who they are, and the things that they lack. So on today, it is Friday. We used to say Friday, Friday, or something like that. When I was growing up, we used to say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Well, whatever it is for you, some of you do work on the weekend, so it's just another day for you. But whatever the case may be, I want you guys to have a safe weekend. Some of you are dealing with inclement weather, whether it's snow or whether it's extremely, like it's fires, whatever the case may be, I want you to be safe, okay? I want you to sit back and look at everything that you currently have and take it all in, from the smallest to the biggest thing, and be grateful. I don't want you to allow fear to stop you. I don't want you to allow a failure to take away your motivation to be successful. Because at the end of the day, all success is built on the backbone of multiple failures. And if you still feel a little not encouraged, I want you to start looking up the people, the history figures that is inspirational to you, and start listening to some of their interviews or reading some of their personal memoir books, autobiographies or biographies, right? And you will see how many times those individuals had to fail in order to become what we see today. This is not anything new. Like I said, Ecclesiastes 9:11, it's in the Bible. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Not a thing new. So failure is a thing that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our life, but it's the way we choose to deal with it. So on that note, you guys, make sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Make sure to make your day the best day ever. And know that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I know I came on really, really early on today, but like I said, I did not want to not come live like I promised, because my personal goal, my personal intention with you is to make sure that you feel that motivation early in the morning, because the first hour or two that you up really shapes your entire day. And I want your day to be shaped with motivation and inspiration, positivity. On that note, I will be live tomorrow, every day, and speaking to you guys about another timely subject. Tomorrow's topic will be the value of gratitude. So we hear that a lot, but what is the value of it? Really, how much is it worth? Have you thought about that? Is gratitude really worth something? Is it physical or not? Well, we're going to talk about that on tomorrow. You guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. And I will talk to you guys on tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment, a perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, "I want to learn more." Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.